Hey guys, how's it going? It is Breaded Chicken here, bringing you the 1.8 update for Minecraft. Actually, it is not out yet, but this is the trailer made by Hat Films, spelled H-A-A-T, and they are very good at playing Minecraft. They have a lot of videos out. I think they're insanely funny. I am subscribed to them. But basically, the beginning part of this video is about what we have accomplished in Minecraft before the update. Basically, you know, we've been building houses, fending off creepers for, you know, a short amount of time and stuff like that. But now it is time to adventure and forget about our homes and move on. So right here, I'm going to pause it as we come up on an NPC village. And basically, there's going to be randomly generated villages. And that's basically what they're going to be for now. I'm not too sure if this part of the update, as it comes in two parts, will have actual NPCs. But for now, there's just going to be a village with harvestable crops and the such. It looks like there in the far right that there's actually a compost station. Well, not a compost station, but a trash station. And it's going to be kind of nice. It's randomly generated. There's probably going to be various buildings and stuff like that. But let's continue onward. So right here we also see that there are going to be river systems throughout the update, which is kind of cool. It makes it a lot easier to get around instead of just having to go through the ocean. There now is going to be rivers through the actual land, which is kind of cool. Right here there is a ravine, or basically a canyon, which is kind of awesome. I mean, now instead of having to go find a cave all the way down to the ground, you can find these ravines or canyons that you'll be able to see minerals easier and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. Just the new environmental effects that the update will have is pretty awesome and on its own. Here's another part showing how we can actually sprint in the game, and I'll pause it here right here as he hits the cow. Is that, as you can see, where the armor used to be, there is this food source bar, and basically if your food source is to the max, you'll be able to heal just like in peaceful mode. But if it goes down, that basically means you're using energy for sprinting. As you saw earlier, you can sprint, you can do critical hits by sprinting and hitting. It's basically like a lunge, which is pretty cool. Instead of having to, you know, just hit 3 times, you can hit a critical and then maybe hit them once. As I move here slowly, you will see that there is a critical hit on this cow. Once he hits them, you can see the sparks come out. That means it's a critical hit. And he also drops meat. Which is kind of interesting. He also drops 3 meat, so possibly critical hits do certain things, as like maybe increase stats for certain items to drop from a cow or what have you. Also, what you can see as the cow dies is that there is experience orbs that drop from him. Right under the cow right there, that green little ball, that is an experience orb. And as you can see at the bottom underneath your health and the meat or food supply, the skill point is 20, which means he's basically level 20, or not 20, it is skill point 12, which basically means he's level 12. The points will not be able to go towards attributes or anything like that right now. That will come in the second part of the update, but it's still pretty cool on its own, just to be able to collect orbs and level up, even though you'll have to use them later on when the other update comes out. This is probably my favorite part of the update, is that archery is now insanely awesome. There is an animation for the bow. You draw it back and you shoot, and boom. It's really cool how they did that. Unfortunately, that means you cannot basically use the bow as a last resort. It is not overpowered like in regular Minecraft, where you could just spam the heck out of it. Now you have to draw it back in order to actually do full damage and that sort of thing. I think it's still pretty cool, the animation on its own. Here we see a zombie getting killed, but what is that on the ground? I'm not too sure. I want to say that it is possibly infected meat or something of the sort. It probably isn't, just because my ideas are usually wrong, but it is, I believe, a consumable item, which is pretty interesting. And also next to the zombie and the skeleton, there are these endermen. They're supposed to be insanely rare, so you'll probably not encounter them like this. But the endermen can pick up blocks and move them around, which is kind of annoying in my opinion, because if you have a house or something, they could possibly move your blocks around. But the special thing about endermen is that if you look at them and then move your cursor away from them, they will actually teleport to you and basically kill you pretty darn fast, which is, in my opinion, a annoying move. Hopefully it's not as bad as it sounds. I mean, if you look at them on accident, like you're spinning around or whatever, and then you move off them with your cursor, you're basically dead, from what I've heard. So hopefully that is not the truth. But moving on here, this is also pretty interesting. As you can see, there are new plants there, possibly watermelon in my opinion. I'm not too sure though. But also we can see that this is a closable gate. That is pretty interesting. Instead of having to build doors and fences, we can use gates now. Also, you can see on the building that there are vines, and possibly you can use them for other stuff. Possibly, I'm thinking that you can be able to climb up them eventually. Probably not the case. On the right, though, we can see underneath that torch and near the waterfall, there are these weird little like up-down pipe things. I'm assuming that this is possibly a window of a sorts, like a thin glass, or possibly actual pipes. I doubt it's pipes, but we'll just have to wait and see. Moving on, there is a create mode, so you can actually just go around like you have too many items, and single player commands or fly mod, and fly around using any single block in the game, which is very nice. Instead of having to use so let's say you're in multiplayer and you have too many items on, you will not be able to use the different colors of wool, but in this you can, and it looks like it's going to be pretty darn fun. You can actually change the day and night cycle while you're playing, which is pretty awesome as well. Alright, moving on here, we see actually a new enemy. It's kind of hard to see, but you can tell the spider on the right actually has these blue linings on it, and it's actually a blue dungeon spider, I believe they're called, and they are pretty hard to kill, which is interesting. But actually, if I go back here a second, you can see that wood over there behind the actual spider. That is an abandoned coal mine, or just an abandoned mine in general, and we'll see a little bit more of that eventually. So moving on, meat actually requires an animation to eat, which could play an important role in how you play the game, especially with the food bar on the right there. If you run out of food, you basically start taking damage and stuff like that, and it's basically a hunger bar as well as a semi-health bar and stuff like that. So it's going to be kind of annoying, in my opinion, to constantly be refilling yourself with meat, especially when it has an animation that kind of takes a little while. Here's another shot of the NPC villages, and here we go. Here is the abandoned coal mines, or abandoned mines. What I think this is going to be, I don't think this is a good representation of what they will be, just because it looks like a bunch of random floating wood pieces, as well as cobwebs and railing, minecart railing. I think it's going to be a lot different than that. Possibly they don't have to all be suspended above lava and stuff like that. I don't think that's going to be the case. But I think it's actually kind of cool that they give you free rails, because rails are kind of a pain in the butt to make, especially if you don't have the iron for it. Once again, the sexy bow hunting skills. And that is about it for this trailer. I'm just going to let it play now. And that is about it. So basically, adventure update 1.8. This is part 1. Part 2, we don't know when it's going to come out, but part 1 is coming out around, I would say, Monday of next week. It was going to be Thursday this week, but they postponed it to Monday of next week, and it's possibly going to be postponed past that. But once again, I'm Breaded Chicken. This is by Hat Films, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.